Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Another gorgeous day in, I guess you could call it paradise. I really don't think it is. Seems more like it's New Jersey. And it's real shitty. Anyway, family friendly I am not, so we'll leave that alone. I understand there was a dumpster fire in Wisconsin last night. Called the Democratic National Convention, where a former first tranny, garbage human being, and divider-in-chief, pegging Mike Obama, decided to rail against the president, as always, because they can't think of anything else better to do. We've got retard, nasty Pelosi galore. She's out there saying, we need the U.S. Postal Service for Social Security checks. They haven't mailed them in a decade, Nancy. You're still sleeping. That's good to see. Congratulations. I guess on a hot mic, Gretchen, she's got a great name, doesn't she? I would never marry a woman named Gretchen. Would never date a woman named Gretchen. Gretchen? What a fucking awful sounding name. Anyway, she on a hot mic said it's fucking Shark Week, because that's more important than the country that's burning and the deaths in the nursing homes in your own state. You dumb bitch. Anyway. Report from the Gateway Pundit, the AP says that there could be over 11,000 deaths in the nursing homes in New York, opposed to the 6,000 that they are claiming. That's a 5,000 under-report. That's a problem. That's a problem. Yet, that dumbass Wap Dago, Cuomo, says it's Trump's fault. You know, I do have to ask a serious question here. To you libs out there, you fucking demented, demonic, pedophilic, satanic, irresponsible, disrespectful, inconsiderate, arrogant assholes. Where were you in 2009 and 10 when folks like me couldn't get a fucking job because the economy was in the fucking tank, thanks to Bush and Obama? Where were you when all those jobs in Ohio were taken away and shipped over to China? Notice the vehicles that were built after that in the United States, they're rusting out, rotting away. My friend has a 2012 F-150. And honestly, it has more rust on it and less miles than my 04 GMC van. And I've got 198,000 miles, and I have less rust on mine than he has on his. What changed? What changed? The steel production went overseas. 750,000 people lost their jobs across 4 states under Obama. And yet you were the savior? I would like to meet Mr. Obama just once, so I can spit in his fucking face and call him a traitor to his fucking face. And I will. He's a piece of shit. So is his fucking tranny wife and his 2 rented kids. They should do the world a favor and move the fuck out of the United States. Because when Trump wins and we get the House back, and all these fucking left-wing governors and these nutbag mayors start getting sued, they will rue the day. They will rue the day. That's fact. Because, you know, like I said about Mayor Lori Dykefoot up there and her Curious George prosecutor, you're lucky you're that close to the Canadian border. You better hope they allow you to have asylum there. Because we're not going to run you out of town, south or east or west. We're going to run you out of the fucking country. You've let more people get shot in the past 3 months in your city than in a year and a half. You claim you've got it under control. Are you kidding me? What planet are you living on? You think you're making Trump look bad? You think we give a shit about what you're saying about Trump? We don't care about what you say about that man. Just like we don't care what you say about us. You want to call us racists with no basis, no evidence? You go ahead, you do that. Slander and libel's a hell of a thing, Miss Lightfoot. Remember, you don't have implied immunity like the police force does. Nor do your governor, or your city council members, or your aldermen. The only people that have implied immunity are police officers. Think about that. You might want to work on that law, you dumb bitch. And as far as implied immunity goes in the state of New Jersey, the governor here has none. The congressmen here have none. The senators here have none. You have no implied immunity. How are you going to stand against a class action, multi-trillion-dollar lawsuit? That, by the way, we're not going to sue the state of New Jersey. We're going to sue the people running it, which is you, Mr. Murphy. The same thing goes for New York. If you upstate people actually woke the fuck up and got involved, instead of sitting on your fucking big properties and fucking going hunting, if you got involved for just 10 minutes, 10 fucking minutes, 10 minutes, you could have a class action lawsuit against that Dago piece of shit governor you have and have his ass impeached, removed. Your legislature's a bunch of fucking anti-American, anti-Semitic, racist, bigoted eugenicists who cheered for late-term abortion. I couldn't believe it when I saw that video. They stood up and they gave it a standing ovation for murdering babies. You fuckers are disgusting. These videos will continue to be put up. Whether you see them or not is not my concern. This is the record of America day by day in lockdown. 15 days to slow the spread. 15 days to slow the spread. 15 days. I've fucking lost count. I know we're upwards of 84 days of rioting and pillaging and raping and burning and destroying Portland. We're up over 84 days. So we gotta be somewhere around 170 days of being locked down? There's no work coming back to New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. I feel bad for the small businesses here because your taxes are about to go through the fucking roof. 5 years ago when I stepped foot back into this state as a traveling worker, I told all the people that I grew up with, the biggest mistake you could make is buying a house here in New Jersey because you're about to lose everything. And sure enough, look what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Look what happened. You got a communist, Marxist, pedophile governor who, to cover his own tracks, will lock down you, take away your business license if you decide to open your business back up to make money to support your family. What is going on here? Do you not see it, or are you just that fucking dumb? You must be that dumb. Or you see it and you just think, we'll just vote it away. Really? Really? You're gonna vote it away? You sure about that? You don't have the money these people have. You don't get it. Murphy doesn't work for you. Murphy's been appointed by George Soros, just like Obama and Bush before him. Cuomo, AOC, Letitia James. By the way, never trust anybody with two first names. Letitia James? No. You don't trust her. You don't trust her. She's got two first names. Letitia James. I don't trust that. No one's got the first name that's my last name. Nowhere in the world. You trust people that don't have two first names. People have two first names, you don't trust them. You've got a mayor in New York who's completely out of his mind. He violated city ordinances by doing what he did in front of Trump Tower. Didn't get a permit. Didn't get any of this nonsense. I have a problem with this. And the fact that you folks don't in New York City tells me that you have serious fucking critical thinking skill issues. You need to be able to have critical thinking skills, and none of you people have them in New York. And the ones that do were smart. They got the fuck out. Now you've got your wop dago governor, piece of shit, scumbag, fucking loser, begging rich people to come back. They're not coming back to your city, dude. I'll bet you 5-1 odds. 5-1, and you could take this bet or you could leave it. 5-1. Those people leave the Hamptons in about 3 months, and they find property in eastern Utah, or northwestern Colorado, Oklahoma. You want to bet? Because their money's going to go a hell of a lot further there. And by that time, they might actually fall into that middle-of-the-road category. Because after living in New York City, like these folks did, and paid these ridiculous taxes, we're talking carbon taxes if you drive below a certain street. The fuck are you talking about? My tax dollars paid for those fucking roads. I'll drive anywhere I fucking want. And if you have a problem with it, don't expect your police force to uphold your notions, Mr. de Blasio, because you've destroyed their morale. I wouldn't trust you with a fucking with a cat, let alone a city of 8 million people. But that number is going to drop. And we know why your wife embezzled that money. Because you had this all planned. You figured if you could get enough people angry, enough rioting going, you could drop the prices on these buildings and you could buy them. Well, I think that would be considered insider trading. And I'd probably watch your step, young fella. Because if you think the Justice Department's not going to leave any stone unturned, you're out of your mind. And as far as the hoe bag is concerned, your daughter, we know why she's the way she is. I've seen that look before in eyes of children that were, well, we know what you did to your own daughter, Mr. de Blasio. We could see it in her eyes. I bet you if you hypnotize that girl and you do hypnotherapy on her, she would recall memories of vile interactions with her father. Because we know what you are. Just like we knew what Jeffrey Epstein was. Just like we know what Nancy Pelosi is, and Hillary Clinton is, and Bill Clinton is, and Barack Obama is, and Chuck Schumer is. We know what these people are. You can't hide that any longer. And it's unfortunate that you're trying to, because it's really disgraceful that you think you could sit here and hide the fact that you folks are involved in some seriously dark, nonsensical bullshit. Now, I don't know what you're thinking, and I don't know where you're thinking, but I will tell you this. I am appalled by what I see. I'm appalled by what's going on in this country that you folks are pushing. You've got this bald-headed, whitey-hating, racist piece of trash from Cambridge, Massachusetts, calling for more unrest in the streets. I have a question for you, Miss Presley. I have a question for you. It's a very simple question, requires an answer. And that question is this. When the American people who've lost everything due to your call for an uprising, do you think your security team is going to be able to hold back a couple 100,000 people? Do you think that's possible? I don't think it is. And I don't think the Massachusetts National Guard will follow orders to protect you either. You are a racist, race-baiting, uneducated, irresponsible, disrespectful, anti-Semitic, anti-American, piece of trash. And it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has everything to do with the lack of the content in your character. You have none. You would have had some had you had two parents growing up, but you didn't. Because mommy was a hoe, and, well, you're figuratively a hoe, because you'll lay down for anything and put your legs up behind your ears. You're fucking disgusting and disgraceful. You've got Kamala, or as I like to call her, Horrible Harris, because that's what her name literally translates to in Google Translate. Horrible. I like to call her Heels Up Harris or Headboard Harris, or just Hobag Harris is fine too, because that's what she is. Slept her way to the top, and then says how women's rights are under attack. You fucking slept with a married 60-year-old man when you were 30. Are you fucking serious right now? Are you serious right now? Honestly? Are you fucking serious right now? You're gonna tell me that I'm morally corrupt when you spread your fucking twat lips over top of some fucking old ratty dick to get a job? You fucking hoe. I would love to meet you in person too. Spit right in your face too. You probably learned that from your mother. She's probably a hoe bag too. Your father fucking disowned you because you're a fucking dirty cunt anyway. So what do you expect? So there's that. I don't know what Donald Trump's doing, but I do know he's trying his best for the American people. He's putting us first. For the first time in my life as an adult, I've been put first by a president. Not because I had special needs, not because I checked a box, because I'm an American. And anybody who can't take pride in that needs to rethink why they're in this country. That's just the facts. Now, you can either sit here and complain about, oh, the president said this, and the president said that, and he's not presidential. Putting a man in the White House who has a husband and lied about it, that's not presidential either. But nobody said a word about that because they were afraid that if they did speak of it, they would be called racist. No. Let's be truthful. When you have government agents controlling your speech, when you have folks at Twitter, Facebook, YouTube controlling what you say and editing your posts, they no longer get the 2:30 coverage. Sorry. The American people want that rescinded. You have people calling to defund the police, a very small group of people, mind you, and yet people are stupid. They don't realize. You don't realize what you're asking for, and you're going to get it. And when you do, I don't know how the fuck you're going to handle it. Currently, you have police being defunded and disbanded in Minneapolis, where the crime rate has skyrocketed. People are being murdered on a level that is staggering. And yet, because Black Lives Matter thought it was a good idea to defund the police, that's exactly what you did. I gotta tell you right now, I understand that there are issues with police reform. I get it. There are videos out there every day of people filming the police, showing you what the problems are, and yet what do? You do nothing. For years we showed this to you. For years you had people like San Joaquin and Omaha Cop Watch and Cop Block and James Freeman all went out there and all said the same thing. We need reform. These police are out of control. This didn't happen under a Republican regime, mind you. This didn't happen underneath George W. Bush. This didn't happen under under Trump. Are you kidding me? This didn't happen under those people. This didn't happen underneath those administrations. The police started to act out when your former president, Barack Hussein Obama, attacked them. The Ferguson riots. Hands up, don't shoot. Bullshit. That's not how it went down. You know that's not how it went down. We saw the video. We saw the footage. And you folks are retarded. Because you believe a narrative that does not exist. Because you have no critical thinking skills. And it's really sad. It's sad to know that I'm surrounded in an area that's supposed to have such intelligent people. The Northeast, oh, super intelligent. No, you're not. You folks are fucking dumb up here. You're dumb. A lot of people just voted for Murphy because he said weed. Which, by the way, is still not legal for recreational use. Still not legal. So if you get nailed with it for a certain amount, you're going to jail. You're getting a ticket at least. It's going to go on your record. It's still destroying your records. You don't care. I had a friend of mine who I don't talk to really anymore because of how unintelligent he is. And I said, who'd you vote for? And he couldn't even think of the guy's name. That's how dumbed down he was from the food, the chemicals in the food and the water, not to mention the alcohol. I mean, he's got liver problems and he's drinking a $100 bottle of scotch a week and getting high all the time, eating edibles, because this is what he wanted. He likes to be fucked up because then he can't tell he's getting taken advantage of. And that's absurd. The governor of New Jersey is taking advantage of people here on a level that is staggering. And the fact that you folks don't see it tells me you have serious problems in your own worlds. Forget about my world. How about just yours? So, I mean, you just got to look at what it is and where it is. We are at a crossroads here. I mean, look at some of these stories from the pundit. Dem convention dumpster fire. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer on a hot mic. It's Shark Week, mother effer. I don't know what that means. Is it actually Shark Week? I haven't watched TV in that long because it's just disgusting. And then Democrat dumpster fire. On day one of the DNC, Democrats promote violent protests, open borders, devastating and foolish Green New Deal. That's by your lovely Mike Obama said that. And then President Trump pardons Susan B. Anthony on centennial of 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. So let me ask you a question. Is he a misogynist? He just pardoned her. Yes, she's dead. She also made the first American flag. So he pardons her. He's the first president to pardon her, give her a completely clean record. And people are just like, oh, he's big and racist. You shut the fuck up. Stop spreading the narrative and start fucking spreading the facts. And if you can't handle that, sit in a corner and shut your fucking mouth. And back to the dumpster fire that is the Democratic National Convention, bringing all the energy of the Bob Dole campaign today. And then we have President Trump announced the major pardon. Corrupt to the core, crooked Mike Obama tells Democrats to vote early and mail and vote in person. I got news for you, bitch. That happens, we're taking you the fuck out. We don't care. You want to steal an election? No problem, bitch. We'll steal an election. But we'll chase you the fuck right out of this country. Right into the fucking water, and we'll see if there's proof that you can swim or not. And then the Pentagon is investigating possible drone sighting near Air Force One. If you're dumb enough to fly a drone in that path, you deserve whatever the Secret Service slams down your throat. And then the DNC speaker blames Trump for her father dying of the beer cold that he caught at a karaoke bar. Well, maybe your father was stupid. Maybe he shouldn't have went out to a karaoke bar listening to Nancy Pelosi and fuck Schumer there. And then big tech electioneering. Twitter suspends Team Trump on tour. Account on second day on bus tour. Richard Grenell wants answers. I think Richard Grenell is going to get the answers he wants. And then per CDC data on the beer cold, death rate peaked in the U.S. in April. There's more pneumonia deaths than the beer cold deaths in 2020. And then this was a sad thing. I watched the Portland assault victim identified GoFundMe launched by his brother. Thank God. And then on the same day of his DNC speech, AP reports Governor Cuomo killed 11,000, not 6,000. So you tell me, should this man be allowed to be walking around free, or should he be hunted down like the dog shitbag he is? And then, again, classless Mike Obama with the big swinging donkey dick. Trashes Trump. Yeah, trash him all you want. He's still the president, and he's going to be the president next in 2021, so fuck you. And pretty soon you'll be in jail anyway. Ashley Nicole McCrae advocates for the destruction of capitalism. She spoke at the Democratic convention. Go figure. And then black Republican woman running for Congress in Maryland releases amazing campaign ad, so God bless her. And then former U.S. attorney claims creepy Mueller gang leader Andrew Weissman is obstructing justice. He's partaking in the same crime he unsuccessfully attempted to pin on President Trump. Go figure. And then here's a quote. They weren't even aware it was here for months. Cuomo just lied to the country. We knew about it in January, but you fuckers were too busy with impeachment, so... and then... finally, I guess the threats to the Portland DA in Oregon actually vows to prosecute violent terrorists who pummeled truck driver in viral video. If you don't, sir, you won't be safe in the United States. If you don't start doing your fucking job that we're paying you for, we will chase you right the fuck out of here. You can go live in China. I think they'll enjoy you. And then Mark McCloskey will speak at the RNC convention next week. Thank God. And then it says here, Portland police man brutally beaten, kicked in the head by Antifa and Black Lives Matter thugs has non-life-threatening injuries. Yeah, because he looks like he's non-life-threatening. He looked like he was lifeless there. And then, in bid to revisit post office, AOC proposes National Progressive Pen Pal program to boost stamp sales. All right. Or you could just reverse fucking what Amazon did and start taxing Amazon and take that money and dump it into the post office. You fucking retards. And now, special prosecutor finds Soros-funded state's attorney Kim Fox committed abuses of discretion in the Juicy Smollett case. So there's that. So what they don't realize is these folks are in for a serious rude awakening. And then here we go. Former CIA officer Alexander Yuk-Ching Ma arrested. Let me repeat that. Alexander Yuk-Ching Ma. Yuk-Ching Ma. That's Alexander Yuk-Ching Ma. That's a Chinese national. The Qingmas are Chinese national. They're also a gang in China. Let's do some research. Arrested and charged with spying for China. So there's the news for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry about the rant for 22 minutes, but I'm getting tired of the nonsense. The pedophiles need to be taken down. They need to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable with the death penalty. If you touch a child inappropriately, and there's proof, and we can prove it in a court of law, and you lose your case, there is no appeal. We bring you out back and we fucking drop you with a firing squad. And then we burn you because there's not even a sense of putting you in the ground. Maybe we can burn your soul clean and maybe God will take it. I don't know. But I don't think he will. We have to take a stand against criminals. None of these elected officials have implied immunity. Not even the sheriff. If he's elected, he does not have implied immunity. If they're hired as police officers, they have implied immunity. Start using... Listen, they've been using the criminal justice system to their advantage for the past fucking 25 years, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up. Wake up. Use it against them like they did against us. They used our own shit against us. And we did nothing. We did nothing to stop it. Start using it against them. Email your board of directors. Email your city council members. Email your mayor's office. Email your governor's office. Call them and tell them they do not enjoy implied immunity. They can be held accountable for their crimes against the Constitution via lawsuits. Let's get this ball rolling. Stop being retards. Please. Thank you. God bless. Please follow me on Parler at Mr. Jacob. Dr. Remulac is the channel this goes up on. Please share this. I know it's off color and it's not what you want to hear, but it is our First Amendment right to speak freely and honestly about how we feel. This is how I feel. God bless. Good luck.